Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here at Nordic IoT. I'm truly a big believer in Nordic collaboration, and that's exactly why I'm wearing this pair of socks made in Sweden. I was featured in Finnish TV this morning, and in the social media, the only thing that people seem to have noticed was the color of my socks. So nobody actually cared what I was speaking about. So I'm here to speak about the emergence of Super IoT and how that will be the key enabler for us as a country and a continent of Europe towards the platform economy. I have a long background as an entrepreneur for 30 years, founder of Digia Corporation, which is now split into two publicly listed companies. A year ago, I started as the Director of Digitalization Strategy and Platforms at the Finnish innovation funding agency Tekes, which spends, by the way, 500 million euros taxpayers' money to fund innovations originating from Finland. Key thing is to understand that that funding works on matching basis, and so in total we steer an investment of 1 billion euros on Finnish investments together with corporate world in our country. Digitalization. This is how it looked like 2015. These are the top 10, top 20, top 50 most profitable companies globally speaking. In the list of top 10, 5 new names that were not on that list previous year. Top 20, 14, top 50, 38. Think about how rapid the change actually is. And these are just the early indications and examples of the IoT being implemented in industries and in society. These companies are mostly less than 10 years old in age. They are implementing the internet age business models, digitalization in general, and these are the children of the new age that is called the era of Internet of Everything. This is the most valuable companies list last week, April 5th, by Bloomberg. As you can see, this is kind of evidencing what I just said on a previous slide. There's really, really valuable companies that are maybe plus minus 10 years old. And Tencent is the last one to make this list, the Chinese internet company on social media. And of course, this development will be continuing. And it will be fundamentally accelerated. The things that I've been speaking is the past, but this is the future. Now we are seeing and eyewitnessing the emergence and rolling out of artificial intelligence. We, by the way, at Tekes call it augmented intelligence, because we don't want to scare people about artificializing things. We rather augment individual human beings. We are seeing the emergence of augmented reality, virtual reality, big data, 5G, blockchain, IoT. In our understanding, blockchain alone will change the world more in a bigger fashion than internet did. Because blockchain as a technology is basically the guy who's going to finish the job that internet originally introduced us into. It's going to finish the job of the death of the middleman that, for example, financial institutions like banks and insurance companies are based on. Think about that. Now these technologies, all of them will be hitting the market within the next 2 to 5 years. And as a cumulative impact to any industry, any product, any company, any society, these changes will be massive. And we're going to see a lot of disruption because of these technologies. And everybody in the room understands how things have evolved in the past with the bell curve. We're not going to see that much bell curves anymore. It's more going to be like smooth transitioning and rapid cycling up, and then there will be a shark fin type of a feature for many of the businesses who don't understand this development, the fundamental change caused by the technology that we are having in our everyday lives. Let's see how the world will look like in just a few years of time. This is the way how value is going to be created in the future. We used to create the value in value chains, taught us by Michael Porter. Even him, he has now upgraded his theory to Porter-Heppelman theory to address the Internet of era, the era of Internet of everything. And we are moving into platform economy phase where ecosystems will be really key, and ecosystems working with platforms on a continuous basis. That's the way how businesses and societies are going to work in a collaborative manner in the future. Europe is lacking in platform economy. All of the concepts that were featured in the video, they originate from Silicon Valley. And of course, there's a lot of catching up we can do, but there's some comfort. This is just the Tetris of the economy. We can always start building on something that somebody else invested in. And a lot of the platform developments will change the rules, the way people and companies have been working in the past. We are going to eyewitness the development of the data as the new currency, and the algorithms will be the new decision makers. In mobile networks alone, Finland, by the way, leading the chart, 17 gigabytes per subscriber per month per year. The number and the volume of this data will 500-fold, not 500%, but 500x by 2025. It will be simply impossible to find your ways in those seas and oceans of data. So we're going to see the introduction of artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural networks, in all colors of it across the board in our society and industries. And of course, this kind of a development that I have been describing asks and demands a massive change in our thinking as companies. And we have been digitalizing our existing businesses in the past, like we were putting some lipstick into a pig's mouth. That's the past. We have been digitalizing existing businesses, but now we need to move on that road to really start working on concepts that originate using internet age business models as the centerpiece. Then we bring in the applications, the sensors, the big data, and then we bring in the physical product. And this is the systemic approach in products that we will be bringing into the markets, and these ones will be capable to address the global platform economy scenarios. Systems of systems, that's where it's ultimately going to lead. These slides, by the way, will be made available to you, and behind the theory you can find the articles written by Michael Porter himself on Harvard Business Review. IoT, who needs that? Who's going to buy? Those ones who've been long enough around to see the introduction of WAP, as we called it. Who needed that? Nobody. But once that technology was kind of brought into the application areas, boom, the markets really skyrocketed, and I think this is very similar to the case of IoT. We need to productize that, and we need to take it into the application areas, and this is exactly why Finland and Tekes is really pushing the envelope to productize with these lead market concepts in rebooting factory, rebooting healthcare, rebooting ships, rebooting energy, and ultimately the whole smart and clean cities around ourselves. We're using the volume of 6 billion euros of smart hospitals that are being built as we speak, 15 billion in smart city concepts, and we are using these as test beds to bring all the pieces of the puzzle together and thereby getting global references. We've been eyewitnessing, because of what happened to Nokia and Microsoft Mobile, the emergence of an incarnation of 1,000 plus Nokia startups, 1,500 IoT companies. There's no other country on this planet who would have the richness of the technology that Finland has. IoT Factory, this is a showcase of Oulu 5G factory by Nokia. We are implementing all these technologies that I've been speaking about in under one roof, bringing in the AI, the robotics, the IoT, 3D printing, AR, VR, big data, everything together, all the bells and whistles, and about 50 companies will get a global showcase how the factory of the future and how the production of the future will look like. 5G, really disruptive technology, because this alone will bring all of you in the room 2 more hours to your day, because you can be there without being there. And this chart is definitely worth spending a little bit time around once you have it. Think about how things will be changing because of the 5G. Okay, there's many trains coming into the same station at the same time, and we think that we really need to educate the Finnish companies to understand the fundamental change that these technologies combined, 5G, AI, AR, VR, blockchain, analytics, what else, are going to cause into products, whole industries and society, and therefore we have decided to organize these Reboot Finland D-Day events on those verticals. Find more details at dday.fi, and many of them already have open registration. If you are from one of these industries, you should definitely come in, because we are going to give a full picture on what these technologies will be doing to your industry. Tekes will be launching this spring biggest program in our history on smart energy, and it will be basically wrapping up many of the other programs that we have in the area of IoT, 5G, smart city, etc. That's definitely something you might want to have a closer look at. This is just a sneak preview. It's not out yet. It's not yet published, but look forward to it. This is our call for action for our international visitors. We don't want to limit the Nordic collaboration just on buying the colored socks from Sweden. We want to bring in all the players who want to use Finland as a test bed. Tekes has the financial muscle to fund that collaboration, and we are open for new business that would be capitalizing on the Finnish talent pool, capitalizing on our academic research and everything that Finland has to offer. Come to talk with us. We, by the way, have a booth whole day here, and we have a set of demos upstairs on the break. You might want to have a look how IoT works in practice by companies that we have been funding. What's Super IoT then? This is not the ordinary Industry 4.0 stuff. We are bringing in 5G, IoT in any color of it, combining that with artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc. And we are not limiting our thinking just inside the walls of the factory, which is the German case. And anybody who understands anything about German culture understands that it's all performance and savings driven. They really want to get the two extra drops from the same wet cloth. And we are not thinking and we are not combining these things to get 10% incremental savings on whatever we do. We want to create the disruptive 10x stuff. If you're interested to do the same, you should definitely consider joining Finland in doing this. So it's a holistic view to implement IoT, artificial intelligence, 5G, and anything that we have in the area of technology in the whole society, not just limited to factory and manufacturing. And once you have this, you can do this.
We live in an ever-changing world where unmanned and remote-controlled vessels are becoming reality. Let us share a view of this world with you. The control room is the nerve center of remote operations in the Rolls-Royce OX concept, where the global wall shows a real-time overview of worldwide shipping traffic. A full situation overview is presented to operators who are monitoring vessels via remote link from their onshore workstations.
Dynamic positioning reports DGPS-1. Lost connection for vessel RR9835. Suggested course of action. Diagnostics. Commands?
Proceed.
GPS, geopositioning and celestial navigation status. Nominal. INS status. Transmission stopped. Suggested failure mode, physical. Commands?
Stand by. I'll have a closer look.
Drones 01 through 08 ready for inspection flight. Commands?
Launch drones 1 and 2. Flight plan. Standard inspection routine. Camera control, manual with eye track. Deploy replacement for selected antenna. Schedule post-mortem inspection and change of antenna at next port of stop. Add checkpoint for operator at selected time. Verify navigation data integrity.
The vessel is ready for handover to local operator at West Coast BTS. Transferring administrative documents. Suggested course of action, break and refreshment.
Okay. Leave the documents open when they're ready.
Rolls-Royce just a month ago announced establishing an autonomous sea vessel research center to Turku, Finland, and apparently it was a fierce fight amongst several countries globally. But Finland won that, and the natural explanation is that we have the best ecosystem to develop the next generation stuff. If this event was a month later, I would have been featuring a video which would have an autonomous forestry machine riding on an autonomous truck, arriving to the autonomous harbor of Helsinki, where the Rolls-Royce ship would be taking it to Brazil. And apparently the autonomous truck would be steered by the autonomous truck driver who's riding on an autonomous bus to his office from the bus window. This is the country where this kind of scenarios can be made to happen in real world conditions. And Finland is not just celebrating its 100 years of anniversary this year, we are defining how the world will look like in the next 100 years. Thank you.